We use the word life, but we should rather use the word living. That comes closer. Moment to moment living. Life seems to be something dead. Already has completed its course. Has come to an end. To the graveyard. Zen is certainly a mystique. In fact, the only mystique there is. But it is not being said. It is kept a secret so that you don't go inside your being with a certain idea. You go absolutely clean and fresh. You will find the mystery, the immense mystery of life. But Zen's absolute approach is not to give you any idea what you are going to find. The reason is very scientific. If you have any idea what you are going to find, which all the religions give you, the mind has the capacity to create a hallucination of the idea. Then the idea becomes a reality to you. Christians experience Christ. Buddhists experience Buddha. Hindus experience Krishna. It never happens to a Hindu that Christ comes. It never happens to a Christian that Muhammad comes. It's strange. Muhammad comes only to those who believe in Muhammad. Once in a while, it will be good for these people to enter into somebody's experience. In fact, it will be absolutely right to convert. If Christ appears to a Hindu, the Hindu will become Christian. If Krishna appears to a Christian, the Christian will turn into Hare Krishna, Hare Rama movement. But it never happens, it cannot happen, because you are carrying a certain idea so fixed that your whole mind starts creating a dream. The mind has the capacity of dreaming, hallucinating, imagining, and if you constantly are working on one single idea, sooner or later it becomes such a fixed program that when you look in silence, you find suddenly Christ arising. And that fulfills your idea. It is a vicious circle. Because you experience Christ arising before your mind, your belief in Christ becomes stronger. Now it is no more just a belief, you have experienced also. Because it becomes a stronger, more possibility of Christ coming to you closer. Every time Christ appears to you, he will be more solid, more alive, more close. And every time his appearance, you are getting a feedback to your belief system. It is becoming stronger and fanatic. Soon you will be almost insane. You will start talking to Christ. Not only that you will start talking, he will answer. Anybody watching you will see that you are doing both the things. You are asking the question and you are answering the question. Anybody watching to you will be able to see that you are just behaving in an insane way. There is nobody you are talking to, but to yourself. You have gone so deep in the hallucination with such strength and continuous feedback that it is Christ who is talking. You can find such mad people in every mad house who are sitting and talking. And you know that there is nobody. And the strangest phenomenon is which mind is capable of. When the person will ask a question, his voice will be different. And when he will answer the question, his voice will be different, booming, coming from the beyond. And this whole game he is playing alone. There is nobody to answer. In a madhouse, a madman was keeping his eyes, his ears fixed by the side of a wall. He was keeping his eyes down and his ears touching to the wall. The superintendent came many times, but he was completely fixed in his posture. Finally, he could not resist his temptation. What is the matter? He asked the fellow, he said, but the superintendent said, what are you doing? He said, I am trying to listen. You can give it a try. So the superintendent came and listened to the wall, and there was nothing to listen. And he said, I can't hear a thing. The madman said, neither I can. But one never knows. I will continue till I start listening. And if you continue till you start listening, you are going completely insane. All religions have been driving their saints, their monks into insanity. This world is not without any reason in a mess. The religions are absolutely responsible for it. It is not a way of ascetic perfection. Because he was following an ascetic way of perfection, he could see that Zen is different. It gives no discipline. The Trappist monk lives under such a strict discipline which is unbelievable. I have told you the story. A man entered in one of the most prominent Trappist monasteries. And the abbot said, do you know our rule? That for 7 years you have not to say a single word. Only after 7 years you can state anything you want, need, anything you want to inquire, just a small piece of talking. And then for 7 years again you have to be silent. The man was determined to follow the discipline, so he accepted. And he was shown his cell. He went into the cell and he saw that the glass is broken. So for 7 years he was suffering from cold, suffering from rain, because the rain was coming directly through the window. And he could not say a single word. He has to wait for 7 years. He waited for 7 years. And after 7 years he went to the monk and said, my window is broken. The monk said, that's enough. You go back. For 7 years, no more words. the window will be repaired. The window was repaired, but in 7 years, the mattress has gotten completely rotten because continuous rain was coming in, even snowflakes were coming in. Suddenly he saw that he did not mention about the mattress. My God, now 7 years again. And the mattress has gathered all kinds of cockroaches, spiders, because the window was open. And this was a good shelter for cockroaches. 7 years of continuous suffering with cockroaches. And then he again went to the abbot and said, "You repaired the window, but the mattress is absolutely rotten." He said, "Go back to your cell, a new mattress will be sent." And the people who brought the new mattress, they pulled out the old one, cleaned the cell, but the new mattress was bigger than the cell. They somehow forced it. And because they were forcing it, the glass of the window was broken. Now again begins the same story. 14 years have passed. Again he is back to the zero. The first day he has entered, this was the situation. 7 years he has to wait again the rain, and he is getting old and sick and continuously having fever, but he cannot speak. After 7 years, when he reached to the abbot said, "Shut up." Before he spoke, that for 20 years I have never heard anything from you except complaints. Get out of the monastery. The poor fellow, after 21 years wasting in a Trappist monastery, was thrown out. Sick, old, exhausted, 21 years continuous torture. Thomas Merton was living in a Trappist monastery. Obviously, he could see that Zen does not give you any discipline. It is not ascetic. And he could see what he has been doing to himself and what other Trappists are doing to themselves. It is sheer masochism, self-torture, in the name of ascetic way of life. It is not a way of life, it is a way of death. It is slow suicide, slow poisoning. But his statement will be detected by any man who has a direct experience of Zen. He says it is not a way of ascetic perfection. The implication is it is a way of perfection without asceticism. It is not a way of perfection at all. Zen is evolution, endless evolution. Perfection is a dead end of the road. There is no more to go. In Zen, there is always the infinite and the eternal available. You cannot exhaust it. In fact, slowly as you go on the way is not exhausted, you start dispersing and disappearing. Suddenly you find one day you are no more. Only existence is. It is not perfection at all. It is not salvation, it is dissolution. It is disappearance. It is melting like ice into the ocean. He goes on saying, it is not mysticism as it is understood in the West. In the West, it is understood as mysticism. That does not mean it is not mysticism. Certainly it is not the mysticism that arises out of the mind as a philosophical point of view. It is pure mysticism, not originating in the mind, but arising from your very sources of life. It blossoms into mysterious flowers, releasing mysterious, absolutely unknown fragrances into existence. It is mysticism, but it is not an ism. It is not a philosophy. It is not a creed and cult. Again and again you have to fall back towards direct experience. He says, in fact, it fits no convenient category of ours. All his statements are beautiful, but something is missing. And that missing link you will find only if you have the experience, then you can compare. Otherwise, Thomas Merton will look absolutely right, a man of Zen. He is not. He wanted to be. If he was, there was no need to go to Japan. I have never gone to Japan. In fact, in Japanese Zen monasteries, my books are being read, prescribed in Zen universities. But I have never gone to Japan. I don't have to. Buddha himself never went to Japan. Mahakashyapa was not born in Japan. His desire to go to Japan shows that he has seen one thing clearly, that Christianity does not work. And he is searching for some new approach that works. His statement that in fact it fits no convenient category of ours is true. But it is not only categories of ours, it does not fit in any kind of category. It is beyond categories. Neither Christian categories, nor Hindu, nor Mohammedan, nor Jaina. It does not fit in any category. It is so original, you cannot make it fit into any category. The original is always individual. It is not a category. Do you think I fit in any category? All categories are against me. And the reason why they are against, because I don't fit with them. And I have no desire to fit with anybody. I am sufficient unto myself. I don't need any religion, I don't need any philosophy, I don't need any category. In other words, I am a category in myself. Zen will not fit into any category because it is a category in itself. and such a rebellious category, such an unsystematic category, that all kinds of wild flowers are accepted equal with the roses and with the lotuses. It does not matter whether it is a lotus or a rose or just a wild flower. The only thing that matters is flowering. All have flowered to their potential. That's where they are all equal. Otherwise, their colors are different, their beauties are different, their fragrances are different. Few may not have any fragrance at all. So they don't fit in one category. But as far as flowering is concerned, they have all flowered, blossomed to their totality. Whatever was hidden has become a reality. What was a dream in the plant has blossomed as a reality. Zen is a blossoming of your potential, and everybody has a different potential. So when you blossom as a Zen man, you have a unique individuality. You don't fit with any category. Not only Christian categories, that's what Thomas Merton means. In fact, it fits no convenient category of ours. But I have to say to you, it does not fit any category at all. Yours or ours or anybody else. It is the beyond of mind. All categories belong to the mind. This is the only rebellion against mind, going beyond. This is the only revolution against the self, going into no self, into anatta. This is ultimate freedom from all kinds of bondages, prisons and categories and isms and ideologies and worldviews and philosophies. It is an absolute freedom from all that mind can create and mind can understand. It is also free from the heart. The heart can understand something deeper than the mind, but Zen is far more deeper than the heart. Heart can be just an overnight stay. While you are going towards your being, your heart, your arts, your music, your dance, your poetry, your painting, your sculpture can be just one night's halt. But you have to go deeper. You have to reach to the very roots of your life, from where you are getting every moment nourishment, to the point where you are joined with existence. You are no more separate. Hence, all our attempts, says Thomas Merton, to tag it and dispose of it with labels like pantheism, quietism, illuminism, Pelagianism, must be completely incongruous. This is a very simple understanding which need not have any direct experience. And he comes to the point. He says, but the chief characteristic of Zen is that it rejects all systematic elaborations in order to get back as far as possible to the pure, unarticulated and unexplained ground of direct experience. The direct experience of what? Life itself. A beautiful statement, but empty. A plastic flower with no fragrance and with no life in it. Otherwise, why he wanted to go to Japan? If he had this direct experience he is talking about, there was no need to go to Japan, and there was no need to remain in a Trappist monastery. He should have been a man of freedom. But he could never attain that freedom. He was longing for it. He was desiring for it. And you desire only because you don't have it. If you have it, you don't desire it. And you have asked, beloved Master, has Thomas Merton got it? Not yet. But perhaps in this life, after being murdered by the Christians, it is a well-known fact to the people who have known the direct experience that your last thought before you die is going to be your first thought when you are born and you grow up. As you start having intelligence, your last thought of the past life is going to suddenly pop. It has been hiding itself inside you. It is just like the last thought when you go to the bed. Just watch, what is the last thought? Or perhaps it is better to create the last thought so you are clearly aware. For example, you simply think of zero. Go on watching the zero. So it is visual also, and the thought is inside, 0, 0, 0, 0, and sleep starts coming. And when the sleep is coming, still a faraway echo, 0, 0, 0 goes on. Once the sleep settles, you forget about the word 0. Then remember, in the early morning when you are feeling awake, don't open your eyes. Just wait a little. Within moments, the first thought in the morning will be 0. That will give you the idea that although you had forgotten about 0 whole night, 8 hours, but it was continuously moving as an undercurrent. Otherwise, how you find it exactly in the morning, the first thought. And the same happens with death, because death is nothing but a deeper sleep. The last thought, the last desire is going to be your first thought, your first desire. As you will become mature enough to have thoughts, it will immediately come to your mind. So in Tibet, they have a special ceremony for dying people called Bardo. The person is dying, And the masters of Bardo recite certain experiences that are going to happen to you. That you will be born in a certain womb of a special kind, that you will be born as an intelligent being, that your first thought will be how to find the truth, how to become a Buddha. They go on repeating, the man is dying. He is going deeper and deeper into his sleep. They go on repeating till they feel the man is dead. They have given him the last thought. Perhaps he would not have been able to have this last thought by himself, because his last thought may be money, his last thought may be sex, his last thought may be anything that he has been desiring and has not been able to get: power, prestige, respectability. One never knows what last thought will be. It will be the one that you have not been able to materialize in your life and you are disappointed. That will bubble up, pop up in your head, and that will drive you into a new life. That will be the determining factor for your new phase, your new journey. The Tibetan